It's 8:30. I'll call the Economic Development and UW Extension Committee meeting to order. Do we have roll call?
John Regheimer, Stacy Hessel,
Here.
Tom Duffy, Steve Karianen, Randy Newman. You have a quorum.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, my chair's getting away, sorry. Certification of compliance with the open meetings law.
This meeting was noticed to the public and the news media as required by Section 19.84 of the Wisconsin statutes.
Thank you. Do we need to do a motion to approve the agenda?
Need a motion.
No, nothing. Just, okay, the meeting agenda. And number 6, public comments. At this time, members of the public will be given opportunity to address the board. Please adhere to 3 minutes or less per individual. Comments should be directed to the board as a whole and not directed to individual board members. And the board cannot respond to your comments during this time. Sir, I didn't receive any notes. Anybody from the audience? Okay. All right, number 7, consider approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. Economic development from 2/10/25 and economic development from 2/20/25. Motion made by Mr. Duffy. Second by Mr. Newman. All in favor? Aye. Approved. Number 8, University of Wisconsin Extension Report. Youth Government's information sheet also. Let's see.
It looks like there's just one participant, which probably is you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll do the introduction.
Thank you.
So Lori was going to do the introduction, but we've mentioned about having youth, possibly youth on the county board, and so Lori and myself invited Emily here. She is the PYD person for Washburn and Burnett counties that works with youth and governance, is one of her roles. And you have youth on county boards in Burnett and Washburn. So we invited her just to share a little bit about the program that she has, and so you have a little bit more information.
Great. Thank you. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you. So just going to describe a little bit of like what each of my programs look like and just kind of what it looks like throughout the state. If that works, and you guys, it's okay. From different schools, because there's the 4 schools in the county. But we opened it up, so there were a couple of students from like Spooner School. So it wasn't from each school because it's harder for some like students from Birchwood to come over because it's a little farther drive because the building's in Shell Lake. So how we have it is the students attend the county board meetings and they get to cast an advisory vote. So they're on roll call and everything, but the vote doesn't actually count towards the final vote. But it's kind of more so that they get to have that voice and the adults then get to learn what the students think about these issues too. So it's supposed to be like a youth-adult partnership. It's supposed to be kind of equal. So it's not just the kids there learning about the government, it's them getting that voice into the county and get to talk about the issues. So we had the 3 students in Washburn. And then last year, because I've been doing this for 2 years, last year we did it where we had some alternates. So they were a part of it, but they would only attend if the other students couldn't attend. But this past year I changed that because we found that the students who attended were there all the time anyway. Or if they weren't, then the alternates usually couldn't come anyway. So the alternates didn't really play like a very big role. So we just kept it with the 3 youth representatives. And then that's also what we've done in Burnett County. We had started with the alternates, but then switched back just to having the normal youth representatives. And then in Burnett, same as well, we try to have it so it's a student from Siren School, from Webster School, and from Grantsburg. And then again, they go to the county board meetings, they get to participate, they get, have a seat, they have a name tag, they get to vote. In other counties that I don't help with, they have it where the students are on committees and they get to participate in that way. And we've thought about changing to that because that way it's a little smaller, it's a little easier for them to speak up and learn about those specific issues. So that might be something we change to in the future. So just kind of seeing how it's going to go. The only hard part about that is if students then choose, they're all in different committees, it's a little harder for like myself to kind of keep track of them because I try to attend like the county board meetings, so like I'm there with them if they ever had any questions for me or for anyone. So each county kind of does it a little different. So like in Dane County, because there's a lot of students who are involved, they attend committee meetings, and then there's a few students in each committee. But we have it where they're on the county board and they get to go to the meetings and vote there. And our application process is pretty simple. I actually changed it when I started, and it's just like a Google form they fill out answering questions like why they want to do it, why they would be a good youth representative, and then we do like a reference check to like a teacher or community member that they pick, and then a parent or guardian just asking, why are they a good fit? Do you approve of them doing this? Keep it pretty simple and then just go through applications and look at like the reference forms, and then they start. So in Washburn, actually, they're starting a new term in April. So we'll have some new students starting then. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions at the moment or if I describe anything else in more detail, but
The only question that I'd have is how many do you see that actually then get on like a township board or a county board after? Do you get a feedback from them after as well on how they perceive the county?
so I haven't yet, and I guess because since I'm still newer in it too, I don't have all of that kind of data. But Washburn and Burnett have been doing it for a long time. So I'm actually working on that right now to kind of go back and see like what students used to do it, and if there's a way I can contact them and find out, are they in this kind of field now? Like what are they doing now? Has this helped them in their future? So I'm kind of working on that right now to kind of get that. But kind of since it started in 2008 and 2011 for Washburn and Burnett, some of that was paper forms, so I'm trying to find those, now everything's digital, so it's easier to keep track of everything. But I'm in that process now of trying to contact those students.
Great.
There was a student from Washburn County who I did reach out to. She was on the board as a youth, and now she works for Wisconsin Housing Authority in Dane County. She's in Madison, and reached out to her because she had written up something for the Wisconsin Counties Association. If you guys saw that at all, but it was written up in there and just talking about like her experience as a youth representative, and actually had her come speak at one of our youth conferences. So she was very happy with her experience as a youth representative.
Great. Does anybody else have any questions for Emily?
And I'm happy to help, if you guys want to do this program, I'm happy to help Donna get it started too. And be a
Stacy?
resource.
Oh, yes, is that John?
Yes. I came in like a minute late, so sorry about that. I had two questions. One, on the vote, so they have if I understood what you were saying, that it's probably best if they're on the full county board, not a subcommittee, but that's neither here nor there. They have a vote, but that's a symbolic vote?
Doesn't what vote?
He's just wondering if it's a symbolic vote. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just an advisory vote. It doesn't actually count
Okay.
towards the final vote.
Okay. And are we voting on this today, or is this something we can move to the full county board?
This is informational only. We don't have anything to present to vote on.
Okay. Okay.
I think if the committee wanted to keep moving ahead, we'd draft up the application and the rules for participation. I would just say too, from past experience, it's nice to have them on committees because that's where a lot of the discussion occurs, but it's kind of hit or miss with participation. It's very inconsistent because a lot of the committee meetings for boards are during the day, where county boards at least are at night when their schedules are generally free. We were always juggling getting, and do all the school districts in Washburn and Burnett participate, or how do you, because it's always getting kids to be able to get to the courthouse and missing school, and some schools only let you do it if you can do it for credit or if it's part of their curriculum at the school. So I think just board meetings to start with would be a good first step.
Yeah, In Burnett County, it is during the day, actually, so students do get out of school for it, but then in Washburn, it is at night. And I've actually found that at Burnett, sometimes it's easier for them because it is during the day. A lot of times if they're in sports or their activities, it gets to be kind of hard in the evenings. So I've seen it both ways, like it can work either way. It just kind of working with the schools to make sure that it's okay for them to leave, and they don't get credit right now for school, right? But I know other counties have done that in the past.
Is this something that you're planning to send to us so that we can review it to bring forward?
Yeah, if we're still want to, I'll get together with Donna. I've got some of the stuff I had worked on before, and we'll look at Washburn and Burnett's and put it together for you.
Yeah, I think we should keep moving it forward.
Yep.
Mhm. Thanks so much.
And you even have freshmen and sophomores in this?
Yeah, we open it up to any high schooler. If they're going to graduate, I've let them, because I was kind of bringing the programs back, so I did open up to everyone. So there were a few students in Burnett that, like, they'll graduate this year, so they won't fully finish their term unless they want to just do it all throughout the summer. So it can be open to anyone, but transportation might be harder for the freshmen or sophomores. But I haven't had an issue with that because I've had parents and other people who have been willing to drive them.
And the students get paid for the meetings, I see, $50.
Yep. Yeah, in Washburn it's $50, and in Burnett they get $75.
And thank you. Great job. Right, number 9, library updates. It's not this month. Okay. Number 10, Hayward Lakes Visitor and Convention Center, Convention Bureau, sorry. Liz has their report to read.
Mindy couldn't be here today. She asked me to read this to you. I'm away attending the annual Wisconsin Governors Conference on Tourism in La Crosse, but wanted to leave you a short note on some of February's successes. For a short month, February packed in a lot. Thankfully, Mother Nature cooperated and gave us some snow. It was nice to see our winter sports enthusiasts out in force, even if only for a few short weekends. Berkey Weekend was a success, and certainly wonderful to have the race finishing in downtown Hayward again. The energy was palpable, and it was great to see so many spectators out to cheer on the participants. The Friday of Berkey Week, Hayward Lakes sponsored an episode of Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest Grillin'. They set up and recorded from our parking lot, capturing the Coeur d'Alene, did I say that right?
Yep, you're good.
Skiers in the background. This episode is set to air Sunday, March 9th at 10:30 a.m. on the CW channel 3.1 out of Duluth. You can find a full list of their broadcast partners on their website, maddogandmerrill.com. Thank you for your continued support, Mindy Simons.
Thank you. I don't think we have any fun from Northwest Regional Planning. So number 12, Mr. Lamore, you are up with the Sawyer County LCO Economic Development Report. You can hear you, but I don't think it is on. If you sing a song, maybe it'll come back.
Where
There you go. Perfect.
I need glasses, but I won't do it. Just fumble around with it till I get. Yeah, there's a business incubator summary that I submitted. So I'm going to give you a rundown of some of the big things that I'm working on. One, coordinating with potential contractors, identifying land, hopefully getting a proposal written to have some sort of meeting where we can get something moving. There is a parcel of land. There is it's buildable. There's interest on their side. So that's something that's getting closer by the day. So hopefully we can keep on moving. That's about all I have for details on that. There's more moving parts, but we're going to see more hopefully this next month. So that's definitely been a positive. our business incubator, I wanted to give you a summary on some of the numbers that we've got back. Some of these numbers are hard to figure out. As you know, when a business starts, there's a lot of variables. There's sometimes roadblocks, but we have helped 28 specific businesses with one thing or the other, whether it's just getting an ID, whether it's getting a tax ID, whether it's getting their EIN number, whether it's helping write business plans. There's been a lot of aid in that direction. So it'll be kind of cool to see in the future where they go. Since we have their contact information, we can follow this and see how it plays out. So that's some good information and some good data on that business incubator. Any questions on that, I guess, before I want to go crazy? Looks like I'm the show today, so
You're doing good.
I want to make sure that I give you full entertainment. Another big project I'm working on is coordinating a video for Sawyer County to promote Sawyer County. But after our board meeting, kind of highlighting, it's not just going to be why do business in Sawyer County, it's going to be why would you want to come and work in Sawyer County? So possibly like a HR video. So if you have a business and you want to recruit someone to come to Sawyer County, you could have this video shared to them to see all the different economic pieces we have in Sawyer County, but also combining that with the quality of living that we have. So it will go into the entertainment and the tourism pieces as well, because that's a big reason why most of us want to live here. So coordinating those videos, going and doing those shoots, we start this week. And I have about 10 different places that we're going to go. So we're moving in the right direction on that. Last front, we're looking at, and this is going to happen, it's what we do is the debate, future fundraisers for the Economic Development Corporation. And the reason for the fundraisers is really so that we have a bankroll, so that when I go and apply for grants, we can put matching money down, okay? We applied for the new business development grant and did not receive it, but the reason is we lose points because we're not putting money up front to match funds. So some grants you don't have to do that, but most of these grants I've learned in my short time here, if you don't put money up front, it's harder to receive those grants. So if I can do fundraising, increase the cash, it'll allow us more of an advantage when it comes to grant applications. So we will be looking for opportunities, and I have some ideas on that aspects, and I look forward to any support that I can get from the county on that. So lastly, we have actually a couple more things. Sponsorship drive, we've done a good job of infiltrating the county, basically selling the Sawyer County Economic LCO Economic Development Corporation on why we are important and why they should support us. So that's going on. And then another thing that's come on my plate is doing some consulting work with Sawyer County businesses, going in and looking at the finances, looking at the management, looking at the processes that they're doing to try to help them be more efficient. So just kind of an outside perspective. Any questions for everyone?
Does anybody have any questions?
So far, it's been mostly state. The federal process, I'll give you a quick rundown. Getting a SAMS ID number has been a way harder challenge than I would have ever thought. So we needed a permanent address, number one. And Andy got us a permanent address because we had a PO box. You can't apply for federal grants with PO boxes. And then you have to have your full name on the document to prove your address. Long story short, we didn't have anything that had that. So we are currently in the process of still getting our full name on our bank statement and a full bank statement to submit to them, so. We'll have it, but. I mean, you want my guess? I'll give you my guess. I mean, I think we're gonna have less, but I think they're going to be there. It's just, I think the requirements or how if you look at the grants that are starting to get kind of thrown out, it's how they are described, who's gonna benefit from them is a big part of it. It's hard to say, though. I mean, I wish I knew.
Thank you. All right, if there's no further questions, I'm going to go back because Lori from UW Extension had some, did she have questions for Adam or does she have questions, comments just in Extension?
Okay. I have another meeting to attend. If you have no other questions, but you can always email me or call me.
Thank you so much for all you're doing, Adam.
Thanks, you guys.
Mr. Lamore, I mean.
Have a great day.
All right, Lori, you're up.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for recognizing it. So I just wanted to give you a couple other updates. I know one of the other things I was trying to listen into what Emily was sharing. One of the other things that she does is helps with the government day. And I know Andy's familiar with that over in Russ County as well. And so that might be another spot to start with providing some opportunities for youth to learn a little bit more about government in that way as well. So I'm sure Emily would be happy to, I know she's not in the room now, but so I'll voluntold her maybe, but I know that she would be happy to help Donna get something like that started in Sawyer County too, if that's something that you all would be interested in. So wanted to let you know that. Also wanted to let you know because I just wanted to give a quick update about Kevin Shusho and his retirement. And so his last day in the office was at the end of February. And he will be on kind of in the sidelines, and his official retirement date isn't until September. But so we have a little bit of time. We also are the UW is going through a whole new system of hiring and changing software, and so we'll be in the process of doing that over the next little while. And so it gives us a real opportunity to assess the needs of the community and think about what's next for that position. And as a reminder, Kevin's position was shared between Sawyer, Burnett, and Washburn counties, and was housed at the Spooner Ag Station. So there's opportunity for us to assess what the agriculture needs are of the communities, as well as if there are other needs that you, as Extension, would like to support. And so those are conversations. I know it gets a little tricky with Andy and the position he's in. And so I wanted to just put that out there that I'm happy to speak with anyone about that. And we'll kind of keep that moving forward and hoping that will turn out well for Sawyer County as well. And then the other thing that I just wanted to say is I know we're kind of waiting to hear next steps for strategic planning. I know Ariga presented at the county board meeting and trying to figure out the timeline for all of that, which may be adjusted a little bit depending on what your needs are. So certainly let us know if there's a way to move forward with that as well. And those are my updates. Thanks for letting me talk a little bit. And hello from Indiana. I'm visiting with my mother and giving her a little care right now. So thanks for letting me join this way.
Thanks for joining. Does anybody else have any questions? All right, thank you. All right, number 13, trail report, motorized and non-motorized. Who would like to go first? Do you want to go with? Well, I think she sent a report, so Liz is going to read that. Oh,
I did forward it to you this morning as well by email. Kathy is unfortunately cannot make this morning's meeting. Snowmobile trails were usable for approximately 1 month this season. Some areas were better than others, especially the wooded trails and lakes. Snowmobile trails never technically closed in Sawyer County, but riding is very poor right now. The Alliance quit grooming a few weeks ago, and clubs have removed all lake markers. We have spring thaw trail closures approaching. The county forest closes from April 1st through May 15th. Chequamegon Forest closes from March 15th to May 1st. Columbia River State Forest closes to ATV, UTV use from November 15th to May 15th. Palumbo doesn't have a spring thaw closure, but generally follows what the county forest does for snowmobiling. The Tuscobia Trail and 9 Mile Loop remain open to ride even during spring thaw closures. I've taken many calls from ATV, UTVers asking where they can ride right now. Trails and county forest land remain closed to UTVs at this time. ATVs can still ride all other trails than the closures listed above. All approved road routes are open. ATV road routes are not affected by road bans, and these dates can change due to weather conditions. That's from Kathy LaRue.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Duffy, do you have the,
Okay, thank you. So we had a great Berkey, really lucked out, really threaded the needle. Had the race been a week either way, earlier or later, we'd have had problems and certainly would not have finished on the main street. But as it turned out, the snow arrived just in time and we finished on the main street. We had 13,000 racers, an estimate of 25,000 spectators. And this past Saturday, they had the fat bike Berkey, and there were 1,000 bikers on the trail. So the University of Wisconsin, on their economic impact of the Berkey, has estimated that there's $5 million on the weekend and $30 million annually that the Berkey brings in to Hayward. Let's see, what else do we have? I think that's kind of it. Otherwise, I've given you a written report from Ben. Their work now will start on the trail, the southern half of the trail for the summer. And again, more work will be done on snowmaking for maybe the salvation of the Berkey in the future. In the meantime, snow gets to be more of a problem, not only for motorized, but unmotorized. So stay tuned. So.
thank you. All right, number 14, it doesn't look like anyone from the fair is here. I'm guessing that they're still planning for the fair. 15, Sawyer County Historical Society report. I don't see anyone here for that, but I know that they're open Thursdays starting this spring, if I recall from the reports. Okay, a broadband update.
All of the BEAD endorsements that we did, we provided them a letter of support and all the information. All that was due last week. So those are all taken care of. And outside of that, I don't have any other BEAD updates.
All right, thank you. 17, contracts for service with external organizations, discussion and possible action.
No action. I just wanted to, I brought this up, I think, last month, and we've moved it ahead. I did mail out a couple drafts this morning. I gave them to, let's see, hang on here. Let me make these a little bit bigger. So what I'm proposing is to, with the external organizations that we provide funding to, like Hayward Lakes, Visitors Convention Bureau, the EDC, Senior Resource Center, and the fair, instead of just approving through the budget process funding for them, that we put in place contracts for services with those agencies, so that we're not just looking like we're giving a donation, but we're buying services from them. So I gave Hayward Lakes and Adam with the EDC some draft contracts, so you can look through them. The templates, for the contract themselves are pretty similar organization to organization. It lays out, the role of the contractor and the agency, how the payments will be distributed, because each one we kind of do differently. All the legalities, but then it also attaches a services to be provided by contractor. And these are the ones that would really change organization to organization. So like you can see on the one I have up is this, for the CVB, the BCV, that they're, the things that they're going to do during the year is put together a travel guide for the county, maintain the website, to create advertising, send press releases on Sawyer County events, attend trade shows. I put this list together, using some other places I found. I've asked them to kind of go through it and make sure it's realistic. It's not really changing what they do, but just putting it as a contract so that if we want to year to year add things, take things away, if we want to add extra services that we're going to ask those agencies to do, there's just a mechanism to do that. And then throughout the year, you can evaluate whether they're doing the job that we're paying them for. When you look at the one I emailed for the EDC, that's a very large encompassing list, and it looks long. They probably are doing a little bit in all those areas, but Adam and I are going to get together and kind of whittle down that list. Senior resource, we already have an MOU with them for the things they're supposed to do, so that would go into this attachment. The fair, we have a lease with that has some of the terms as to the grounds, but, you know, the attachment is going to just lay out, you know, putting together a X number day fair, the type of activities that they'll include in it. So I think it just gives the county a little bit better position as far as managing those funds and making sure that you're getting the services you're putting the money in for. You can change it year to year. It also makes it clear for the agencies as to why they're getting the money, and you can, I think the contract's a takeoff point in the future if you want to put more assessment tools in or ways to measure that, how the money's being used. You have a vehicle to do that. So I hope to have all of them ready to go next month for approval
Okay.
after we get through the attachments.
Okay, great. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Andy or input? Okay.
It's just added, I'm not doing the libraries because that's all in statute. In Namacog and Transit, we have an operating agreement with we're essentially an owner of Namacog and that lays those things out already. So that's why it's just the ones I mentioned.
Thank you. All right, so 18, board appointed committee updates. Does anybody have anything anybody wants to share from? Pardon me?
Nothing now.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, 19, correspondence reports from conferences and meetings. It's kind of redundant, but 18 and 19. We'll talk to John about fixing that. All right, 20, future agenda items. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to add to the agenda? Yeah, that would be great to keep that on there. Thank you. So Andy recommends keeping the youth and governments on there. That's okay with everybody? Okay, great. And it'd be nice to partner with the school. I think that even most adults don't want to come in here and deal with the wrath of some constituents. So I think teaching them at a younger age, like how to handle the environment would be great. Okay. All right. Does anybody have anything else? We are adjourned. Thanks, John.